Like, a lot of the Olog's attacks and everything feel very chunky, which makes sense because they're biggins. This seems more gangly, like more fluid. We don't have any arrows to jump to him, so let's go get some more arrows. I don't have better word than fluid and gangly, unfortunately. Oh.
Witness the might of the Galadrim. Now, Celebrimbor!
The bright lord. I serve no one.
This is the wrath of Galadriel.
Can you just chill a little bit? We're down.
You will take nothing more from me.
And she's a done. Hug it out.
Sauron and Celebrimbor became one, locked in a prison of perpetual war. A flaming eye, casting its shadow.
Yeah, the eye has multiple personality disorder now.
Talion had retaken the city of Minas Morgul, but his war was far from over. His greatest battle would be fought against the shadow within himself and the tower to the east. To hold back the darkness. To save the world of men.
Epilogue. Okay, so the epilogue of this game is quite long. I'm going to give you guys the option here. Would you like to do the entire epilogue, or would you like to be like, hey, we did it, and move on? I am happy to do either. I will explain what it means in a sec, what the epilogue means. The Dark Ranger, you have defeated the Witch King and become Lord of Minas Morgul. New skill unlocked, Raise Dead and Ring Wraith. So those two things that were locked before, we now have. New challenges unlocked. Pardon me. New challenges unlocked. Minas Morgul Fight Pits. Complete challenges to unlock Undying Loyalty upgrade for the Raise Dead skill. Oh no, that's right. We still need to do that. New legendary gear set is the Ring Wraith gear. And thank you, Colby. The Land of Shadow, Minas Morgul, which is such a fun word to say, and the Fortress of Mordor are yours. However, the Flaming Eye of Bastards above Barad-dûr is fixed upon you, and the Lord of Mordor sends more powerful orcs to lay siege. This is what it says. This is where you get some really crazy cunty orcs. Upgrade your fortresses, increase the level of your followers, or dominate higher level invaders and recruit them to strengthen your army. Keep Mordor in a state of perpetual war. Only then can you can the free people of Middle-earth prepare for the War of the Ring.
The War of Shadows begins.
So how this works is as follows. Hang on. Let me go back here for a sec. How the epilogue basically works is each of the 4 zones, or 5 zones, Nurnen, Cirith Ongol, Saragast, I so hard to not want to say Seregios, Gorgoroth, and Cirith Ongol, which I already said, didn't I? Oh, right, sorry. Each of the 4 zones. So, the first one is this one, Cirith Ongol. We have to defend the fortress against a siege of orcs. And then eventually they take over the fort, and then you have to take it back again. So effectively you're defending, and then they take it over anyway, from memory. Or maybe it's only if you fail. I can't really remember. And then you have to take it back. So it's basically going to each map and recruiting a whole new army of orcs, and then taking your fort back on each one, but way harder than it used to be. That's the general gist of what the epilogue is. I don't mind if we don't want to do it. We could do a little bit. We could do it all. It's up to you guys if you are like Shadow of Ward out. We have been playing it for roughly 30 hours now-ish. If you want more, we'll keep going. If you're like, you know what, let's play something else, we swap. I am happy with either. I would prefer to, you know, go on what you guys want to watch than what I want to do. We need to shun 2 captains in here and kill 5 Karagors in here. We could try a little bit. Still haven't found a Pashot Tongs. That's true. That is the truth. This is Cirith Ongol. This is not where we want to be. So, first things first, we've got some new inventory. We should have the entire Necromancer set now. So we are... What level are we? 51. So we still can't get... This is still locked behind the champion pits, and this is locked behind level 53, right? Yeah, so we go do the champion pits in just a second. But the gear itself, we can... Don't worry about the stats of this sword, but you can see the set bonus. In fact, this isn't easy. A 2 set for it. Call followers. And Iron Guard summons a Revenants instead. That's if we don't want a bodyguard. So that's not great, because we want a bodyguard. The 4 set restores 20 health when a nearby undead follower dies. That is pretty good, though. I like that quite a bit. We usually use the Necro set at the end. We don't necessarily need to, because you don't need the Necro set to become a Necromancer. We already are a Necromancer, so we can use whatever set we want. But having, you know, Necromancy people, and then when they die, we just get free heal is kind of nice. 20 health isn't that much, so we don't need to use it. We have 6 out of 6 of it. We also have 6 out of 6 of Bright Lord, because they're the 2 sets that you get guaranteed for completing the story. Bright Lord is opening all the doors with all the words and shit, and that is obviously we just got it by becoming a Necromancer. How you get these is you need to kill a member of the Dark Tribe, a legendary member of the Dark Tribe, and that's how you get their sets. So I haven't deleted any of the legendary gear yet, so if we want to like do, you know, we have 3 pieces of gear that we can use, 6 pieces of gear that we can use, so we could have 3 2 sets, or a 4 set and a 2 set type thing. But let's say we wanted Warmonger, for instance. Recover 50 health when killing an enemy who's on fire, and then a 4 set, while we're on fire, you periodically explode, releasing a burst of flames. We have the cape of that, which is this, which gives us 50% increased damage dealt by beasts, and if we recruit an orc from the Warmonger tribe that's at least level 40, we also recover 8 health per second while on fire, which basically negates fire damage. We can also, if we go to that actual piece of gear, which I think was this one. Yes. We can also... oh, no, we can't upgrade it. It will upgrade to our level, I think, when we do that recruit orc thing, and then it will give us a new one. to do. I believe that's how it works. The Necromancer is already level 2 out of 3, as you can see, as is the Cloak of Beasts. But yeah, we could go and do that. We could find like a set that we would like the idea of. I don't mind the Necro set for the whole followers die thing, but 20 health really isn't that much when we have 500 health. That would need to be 25 orcs would have to die to fully heal, which we're never going to have 25 dudes. But thematically, it's cool. So if we take a quick look at these, what do you think would be good as either we could have 3 2 sets or a 4 set and a 2 set, or no sets? It doesn't really matter. Gain 1 might when enemies take damage from poison. All attacks have a 15% chance to inflict an explosive poison on grunts. So if we went hard into poison, dark would be good. But gain 1 might every time an enemy takes damage from poison. That's not bad. We poison a lot of people. We're just getting free might out of that. Feral, Shadow Mount Unbroken Grogs. Shadow Mount Unbroken Drakes. We don't really need that. We can summon a Grog or a Drake of our own. And when they get low, we just Shadow Mount. That's fine. We don't need Feral whatsoever. Machine. Call followers as sappers. And Iron Guards summon more sappers. We hate sappers. Elven Light also scatters explosives. I hate it. Marauder. Picking up money increases our damage by 2% per money gained. And picking up money recovers 2 health per money gained. Don't care for that. The Vendetta set. This is by completing online Vendettas. So we can farm this. Well, we already have it. Perform an attack requiring might consumes your health instead. And if you have the elf shot, you could do ranged things, but it consumes your health instead. If you had a lot of lifesteal build going on, good. Otherwise, not really a fan of it. Bright Lord, gain Wrath faster, but Elven Rage, which is now that Necromancy thing, lasts half as long. Replenish all elf shot when killing an enemy during Elven Rage. Don't really care. Mystic, Dominated Grunts take 50% less damage, and Dominated Grunts gain Curse Weapons. We don't really care about that either. Terror, Quick Throw instantly kills fleeing grunts. Recover 200 health when killing a fleeing enemy. Fleeing enemies help if you go into hard into fear. So there's quite a few abilities that we can spec into fear. So like when we brutalize, people get feared. But we can do when we oh, there's a few things. I can't remember what they are now. But there's a lot of ways of making people run away in fear. So if you went into a fear build, which makes sense because it's called terror, and then you just kill fleeing enemies, you can basically get a third of your health back, more than a third of your health back, almost half your health back. Recover 50 health when killing an enemy who is on fire, and while on fire you periodically explode, releasing a burst of flames. This one sounds interesting. We would just want to set ourselves on fire as much as possible. And just everything is just permanently going to be on fire. The Necro we've already been through. Call followers and Iron Guards summon Revenants. We don't care about that at all. Restore 20 health when a nearby undead follower dies. Kind of nice, but it's not that great. Slaughter. Slowly drains your health, but briefly increases damage by 40% after drain or dominate. We don't drain or dominate that much outside of... inside of a battle. Outside of a battle we do. Or having followers and allied beasts nearby increases your damage by 40%, but they also slowly have their health drained. Now, we can heal our followers, but that costs us our own health. So that's basically, we're always going to be dying. As are our captains, but everyone's going to be doing way more damage. And then the last one, 25% chance to inflict fire, poison, frost, or curse upon a hit an enemy. That's pretty cool. You just have a 25% chance to do a status effect. And then your follower attacks also have the same effect. Which means that our captains, and when we're doing a siege and all of that sort of stuff, I don't think it's normal orcs. I think it's just, it might be. Anyway, they have a 1 in 5% chance. 1 in 5%, it's not right. 20%, which is 1 in 5 chance to do the same thing. If we potentially combined that with that, it's a 1 in 4, well, a quarter of our hits are going to apply a thing, and a quarter of those are going to be poison. So realistically, the chance of getting poison is kind of low. But we get might when they're poisoned, or there's also the chance of them going on fire, and then we get health back when someone's on fire. So we could kind of do a 3-2 piece, a 3-2 piece. I don't know. I guess that's as good a way as describing it. I guess 2 and 2 outlaw, 25% chance to inflict fire, poison, frost, or curse upon any enemy hit. So every time we hit anybody, we just have a chance of doing any of it. Now, we don't fully need this because we have a very reliable way of doing fire, poison, and frost. Curse is the only one. It just means that while we're hitting, they just randomly get shit. But we don't fully need it. But say we do a 2 points into that. Recover 50 health when killing an enemy who's on fire. We're going to be setting people on fire quite a bit, especially when some of our attacks are just going to put people on fire. Some of our attacks already put people on fire. The grunts and shit. That's just health. And then we could go into this, so that when people are on fire, we're healing. When we kill people on fire, this is just anytime anyone's poisoned, we get might back. Or we could go a 4 piece into dark, which means anytime anyone's poisoned, we get might, and all attacks have a 15% chance to inflict an explosive poison on grunts, which are just normal orcs, which means that anytime we're hitting normal orcs, there's a decent chance in massive fights and stuff. 15 is not high, but like when there's a heap of grunts around and stuff, that they're going to have explosive poison, which is then going to explode, setting more people in poison. And then we're going to get more might. This is an interesting one. I don't mind the dark one. 4 set of dark is potentially pretty fun. And then we could take like a 2 set into this, so that when things are also on fire, we kill them for lifesteal. I don't know. We'd have to track down dark enemies though. Dark, legendary dark enemies, which is RNG. Outlaw count sounds kind of neat. I was going to say it would be shit if, for example, you roll poison on an orc who instantly dies to poison, who you wanted. But also, if an orc instantly dies to poison, you probably wouldn't want them anyway. Yeah, that's exactly it. So, that's a very good point. I was going to kind of touch on that a little bit, but not so much that on the like enraged stuff. So it's like enraged when burning or something. Right now, we can kind of... It depends. We'd have to change our gear around. Well, we're going to be changing around with whatever the gear is. But right now, when we crit, we poison and set things on fire. So right now, if something's enraged by poison or fire, we're basically going to do it just by hitting things. But there was that captain before that was enraged by frost, right? So every time we jumped over him, we enraged him. Or every time we stunned him, we enraged him. But if we didn't do either of those things, he wouldn't get enraged. Because it's just like, oh, this guy's frost? Good. We just don't stun him. We don't vault him. He will never get enraged. Whereas with this, there's a 25% chance that he's just going to get frost damage, and then he'll be enraged. But you're right. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing as what I was going to say, but instead deathly allergic to. I wouldn't want them anyway. But yeah, there is a chance that you will just accidentally, I guess, do that to somebody. Anyway, there's what we can do. We also don't have to do any at all. We can check what kind of gear we have. So this increases our damage when our health is full. If we wanted to go into that 25% chance to do a random status effect on hit build, we probably don't need the crit hits have a chance to do enemies on fire, and crit hits have a chance to do poison and all that sort of stuff, because we're going to do them just by normally attacking. On top of that, we also still have our Mighty Shot that does fire and our Elven Light that does poison, so we could proc both of them on command should we have enough might to do so. So we could go, depending on what the spec is, with a sword that doesn't do that. So, for instance, let's just say it was this. Increased damage when health is full. Or... So this is... Crits have a 40% chance to poison enemies. I think you can re-roll these as well once they're fully upgraded. I'm pretty sure you can re-roll the thing on them. Reroll gear bonus cost you a gem. I don't know if you can do it on legendaries, though. Maybe not. Either way, to get any of those that we just talked about, we can now delete the level 1 shit. We need to track down legendaries of their typing. So for now, we may as well keep... I mean, this does a little bit more damage. But I'll keep the fire for now. This does 30% increased stealth damage when we're full health. So when we stealth somebody, it hurts a lot. Instead, we get 5 wrath on stealth kill. I don't really care about that. Oh, the other good thing about the, some of these abilities, some of the necromancer abilities is, gear at least, you can see here, grunts killed by melee attacks have a 23% chance to resurrect his allies. Grunts killed with stealth attacks have a 46% chance to resurrect his allies. So you just, even without having to summon dudes, like use the summon ability, you just get them by killing them. This is why I like to use the necromancer set, not so much for the set bonus, I forgot about this, but for you just get dudes for free, which is pretty cool. The bow is actually a hammer. That's why I don't think I ever use it. Charged hammer throws heal all nearby undead allies. But we don't really care about that. The chest piece. Damage from undead is reduced by 70%. And 23% chance to cause crits to do curse. Raised Dead causes enemies to flee in terror. Undead allies take 50% less damage, so they just become tankier. And last one, increase the Raised Dead radius and 65% increased damage dealt by undead. So I think we normally use this one, which increases the radius of Raised Dead, and our followers do more damage. I think we always use the usually use the cape as well, which means that our undead followers take less damage. That's the 2 set. We might use this. I can't remember. I think we normally go for a 4 set of... it's probably the dagger. Or the sword, maybe. One of the 2. But I think we usually run a 4 set of necromancer. So this time, let's not do that. Let's do something different. Because we always do that. Because it's good. I like it. But let's do something different. I kind of want to try the dark. I feel like this is kind of good. We're just going to be poisoning everything all the fucking time. And it's just going to keep proccing more poison, blowing up more poison. And we're just going to have might for days. Which means that we can just keep summoning undead followers or doing mighty shot or whatever. We do have 1 cloak of dark. Did it roll well though? Increased damage dealt by beasts. And if we recruit an orc from the dark tribe that's level 20 or higher, which we can definitely do, it increases poison damage dealt to enemies by 17%. So that's decent. We have 1 piece. So we'll go for dark legendaries, I think. Start with, if we see them. But again, it's all completely random. So we just need to find dark people. The way we could do this is if we find a dark guy. Which... oh, there we go. Poisonous Dark Destroyer. So Buth, the Venomous. Who's actually really good. But what we could do is make him a legendary. Like, pay money, or we've got some free ones. But make him a legendary. Then shun him... dismiss him out of our team. And then kill him. And then he would drop it. If we have any dark, currently we have any dark dudes on our team that we want to, you know, get rid of. But this guy's actually really good. So probably don't want to do that. I think for now, we just recruit. We just get more orcs in here. We also need to... We need to do the fighting pits, but we also need to kill... We need to shame 2 dudes in this map, and we need to kill 5 Caragors in this map. So I don't think we can really do the fighting pits right now. This is our bodyguard. And we only have 1 more dude. Oh, 2 more dudes. And this guy who's actually good, as we discussed. So for now, let's get the Caragors and shunning done. And work... Okay. And work towards elf shot needed. Okay. I can't get across there very easily. And let's do the fighting pits. His name's Tugog the Legendary, and he's indeed a legendary. He is highly flammable, which is not great. Does he have sniper shot? He also has iron will and great strength. Ooh. If he had sniper shot. Well, we need to shun some dudes. He's iron will, so he's a good target. He is also a marauder. So let's kind of do a little bit of thinking here. I think dark is interesting. I think warmonger is interesting. I think outlaw is interesting. I think the rest kind of are a bit meh. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care. Already got that. Don't care. Don't care. Slaughter could be good. Alright, Spook, considering I know you're active in chat right now, can you do me a favor? Can you write down Dark, Warmonger, Outlaw, and Slaughter, and then pin it in chat, if you don't mind? Thank you, friend. Alright, let's get working on them orcs. So yeah, if we want to work towards these sets, if we want to work towards finding patch hot tongs and all this sort of stuff, we can keep streaming this for another couple of days. I don't think we want to do this for another week though. We'll finish it out today. We'll do it maybe tomorrow and Tuesday, and then we'll see how we're feeling come Wednesday. Maybe we swap games then. The next game we have on the list, I think we were going to take a look. We were going to play the first of the new 3. Sorry. Tomb Raider games, because I haven't played them in a long time, and they're very good. So we could play the first one. If it's not particularly exciting or people don't like it that much, we just move on to a different game. But we'll play the first one. We can also see what happens on Humble Bundle on Tuesday. We might get something good. We also always have a bunch of indie games that we're playing, like Dungeon Crawler and Punch Club.
Crazy, mate.